Drop it on the random.
Welcome to episode 55 of That's What I'm Saying, the podcast about hip-hop, entertainment, dating, sex, relationships, and social issues from a sometimes ratchet but mostly woke perspective. So we hope you joined us for the two-part one-year anniversary episode. You can watch it on YouTube. We had such a good time on our IG Live, answering questions, running our mouths, talking and all. So subscribe to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast. We're in iTunes, GooglePlay, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Castbox, TuneIn, and of course we're on Spotify. Follow us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. So I'm Shaun.
Hello, I'm Nye.
Here we go. All right. What are we calling this episode, Nye? With
Big Daddy Diddy.
The Big Daddy Diddy. All right.
Daddy Diddy.
So how are you, girl? This is our 55th episode. We've been here, but we've been gone. But this finally we're back. We done been in the boogie down.
When the summertime comes, the streets be calling. They be calling.
We like, this is not cuffing season. Woo.
For real. Cuffing season is over.
Oh my goodness. I've had such a good time. It was my birthday. I went to Anguilla, went to Turks and Caicos. And then of course I had to see you now. Memorial Day weekend in New York. What could be better?
Yep.
Hanging in Harlem, Duce Palooza.
Yep. Last weekend I was in Philly for the Roots picnic, which was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. I love the summertime. I love festivals. I just love it. Summertime is my time.
Ooh, you know my time too. Like I'm over here rubbing my breasts. Getting it ready, y'all. No. All right. So getting right into this ratchet minute. What you got?
So we're going to kick this ratchet minute off with Blac Chyna, a.k.a. Angela White. She has a new reality show.
That's such a pimp name, isn't it?
What, Angela White?
Angela White.
Yeah. She has a new reality show called The Real Blac Chyna. And I saw like a little, I guess a teaser online on Instagram or wherever I saw it. And it was a scene with her and her mother, Tokyo Tony. Lord have mercy. Man, I thought they were gonna come to blows, fisticuffs. Like they were arguing.
Wow.
They were pushing each other. I really thought they were gonna fight. Like they were arguing like two, like they were
in high school. Two
girls on the street about to fight. It was crazy. It was. I can't even imagine talking to my aunt or my mother that way. Like that's
what were they fighting about?
Girl, I don't know.
Oh.
Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, she has this new. It's not really. She says it's not a reality show. It's a docuseries, and it's on the Zeus Network. I had to Google Zeus Network. I never heard of it, but it's a.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it's a subscription-based network. I don't know any of what else is up there. There's a lot of stuff up there, but I just didn't recognize the shows. But it's coming out in the summer. We don't really know the date that it's coming out, but stay tuned. So so I don't, am I gonna be watching? I don't know. I'll probably binge watch it once a couple episodes.
How you gonna watch it if you gotta pay for the channel? Are you doing that?
Girl, I got my ways.
Oh, that's what I do.
I got my ways. So, but actually, Blac Chyna, she was on Wendy Williams, and I really like watching interviews because I really feel like I get to know the person and not the character, and I kind of like her.
I think for all that's been painted about her, like she's just a regular girl that had to come up,
right,
and is really doing the most with it.
Right, she really is. I just saw a person up there that was trying to secure a future for herself and her kids. That's what I saw when I watched it.
Because if she was stripping do you ever been to that strip club in DC? I can't think of the name of it, but it's like, what is the name of that strip club? Right there as you come into DC, and I think she was there. She was stripping there.
I know what you're talking. It was on the left hand side.
Yeah,
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
About as grimy as they come. So if she came from over there, God bless her.
I ain't even mad. So so she has this docuseries coming out. So I think I may watch it. But what's interesting is that she said, Wendy always asks the questions. She was like, "Who's better in bed, Rob or Tiger?"
She said Tiger. I heard her.
She said Rob.
She said Rob, right?
Yeah, she said Rob. I was like, this nigga probably don't even take his t-shirt off.
Stop. If buckets of sweat. Girl, let me stop. Let me stop. I don't know.
I just can't even. I can't even imagine.
Well, why wouldn't you believe it though?
Because I just don't. I just don't.
You said I refuse.
I just don't. I think lying. Lies you tell.
Ooh, more cushion for the pushing. I guess that's what it. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. But
I don't know. That's a hard. Would you rather?
Check it out if you guys have Zeus. The shade of it all. If you have the Zeus network, check out this docuseries, Support Black China. So Angela White.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, moving on, we must talk about Big Daddy Diddy. Sugar Diddy.
Man, he insists on sharing his hairy gray balls with all these young girls. His low-hanging gray balls.
He said he insists. So the word is that Diddy is now dating a quote unquote beautiful LA Asian model named Gina Hoyne or whatever. The two have been romantically linked for years. She was supposedly the side chick to Cassie. And if you look at these two girls, you look at this girl Gina, you look at Cassie, they look like sisters. They look They look like they're related. So Diddy released a video with Gina yesterday. The two were kissing and sucking tongues, and he is now publicly proclaiming her as his girlfriend. I think is she 19 or 20, something like that.
This is
because I think Diddy is all of 50, right? He's
50. Easily.
I'm not laughing. I guess he likes to, I don't know.
You know what? I think to me, Diddy and people like him, these older men that go after these younger women, I just think I think the reason why they do it is because they kind of take advantage of their naivete. Is that a word?
Naivety.
Yeah, there you go. I think they just take advantage of these young girls and how it's. I'll put it this way. Some of the shit that he probably pulls on Cassie, like going on vacation with his baby mama and family, that shit wouldn't happen with a woman that's the same age. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like, where are we going?
Right.
Where are we all going?
Right.
What?
Man, but more power to him. Everybody wants. I always say everybody wants to find love. Everybody wants to be loved at the end of the day. And if Diddy wants to love on these young girls, then as long as they have age and they're willing,
and they're young Asian girls. What do you think about that?
Well, I think Diddy has always had a thing for light and wavy women. I think, except
Kim, rest in peace.
Yeah, except for Kim. But Kim was brown and wavy, so I think he does have a type, and she fits into the type.
Okay. Well, you know what? He likes it. I love it because I let people live. So if that's what you want to do, Diddy, that's what you want to do. But I find it very interesting when you see a guy that has a type and they date the same girl in another body and be the same person. I'm looking at this girl and I'm like, this is like Cassie 10 years ago. Just younger.
But what is Cassie still with the trainer? What's going on with that?
No, I heard that they broke up. I read somewhere that they weren't together anymore. I'm hoping that's not true. I'm hoping, she deserves true love because she really put her life on pause. Although, if I too would do the same thing,
Man, let me tell you. I talk a lot of shit about Diddy, but if he came up to the Bronx right now and said, "I'm pulling up, you coming outside," a bitch is grabbing her shoes and her coat, and I'm going.
I'm leaving this life.
Right. Y'all can have everything in this motherfucker. I'm out. I'm out.
I'm not even mad. Then I'll be calling you like, "Can I come?"
Right. Girl.
Bye to everybody, okay?
I'm leaving this life.
I'm not even mad. I'm going. Tell my son I'll come back for him.
Oh, shit.
I promise.
Go to grandma's.
That's the truth.
For
The
real.
truth right there. Mm-hmm.
Diddy has life-changing money.
You know what I'm saying? And I would make a life-changing decision right there.
Man, my whole life, girl.
I'll be in the car, just be like, you know what? Just drive. Just go.
I ain't even looking back. I ain't even locking my apartment door. Y'all can put everything in here. It's yours. All my clothes, everything. Y'all can have all the Zara that's your heart desires.
All the Zara that you collect.
My whole Zara collection you can have.
I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad for real. I'm gonna change my whole life. And anyway.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Moving on. We have really got to the woke minute very, very fast. I'm not ready. She wasn't ready. I'm not ready to be here. Yeah. Hold on. God, kitten heels and everything. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm pulling my hair back into a bun, a low bun, and putting on my pearl earrings and my pearls and sliding into these kitten heels and getting ready to go into the woke minute. So, all right. So, I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you read this, but I've been reading on it and it's just been like mind blowing. So, there are these secret FBI tapes that accuse Martin Luther King of having over 40 extramarital affairs, and as well as, this is the mind-blowing thing to me, watching a pastor rape a woman. So David Garrow, who's this author, he's a Pulitzer Prize winning author. He actually did a biography on King some years ago called Bearing the Cross. So he's unearthed these FBI summaries of various incidents. So basically, he was doing the research for his book. This was back in 1986. And at the time, he said, he was reading through a lot of the reports, but understand that there has been this 50-year gag order on the FBI tapes and the FBI documents. So back in the day, the FBI used to wiretap King's various hotel rooms because they thought that he was somehow linked to the communists or the Communist Party. And this was, under J. Edgar Hoover, who was running the FBI, and he was like surveilling everybody because he thought everybody was a communist. So basically, what Garrow, who is the Pulitzer Prize author who's doing this research for on MLK, came across some recordings at the Willard Hotel, which is near the White House back in D.C., where it shows that King and his friend Logan Curse, who was a pastor at Baltimore's Cornerstone Baptist Church, and they were in this room with several female parishioners, and they were talking about which parishioners were suitable for natural and versus unnatural sex. So the FBI documents that when one of the women in the room protested, that Curse, who was the pastor from Baltimore, forcefully raped her as King watched on. They said that he laughed. He was offering advice to what was going on. Now, the FBI was allegedly in the next room, next door, listening, but they did nothing. There's supposedly documented evidence of recordings of sex orgies with at least 12 people in these various hotel rooms where King was at. There's also tape of Martin Luther King heard coaxing a woman into a sex act, telling her, quote unquote, it will help your soul. There's alleged evidence of a threesome with a prostitute. There's audio of King joking to his friends that he started the International Association for the Advancement of Pussy Eaters. Wow. And then there's also the FBI. They said the FBI officials wrote a letter to King where they suggested that he commit suicide because they were going to reveal everything that he did to the world. So, I don't know if you read about this. Have you heard about this at all?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. But so I mean, I think first off, I think it's common knowledge that, he had these extramarital affairs. I think that was something that was documented. I know I've read where the late Coretta Scott King had said, he was never home and there were some issues with infidelity. But I don't think we were aware of the scale of it. Just from what's coming out from this report. Now, understand, like I said, again, the tapes that this information is coming from, there was a court seal, I thought it was like 75 years ago, but there's a court seal that says they cannot be released until 50 years later. So if the 50-year mark would be the year 2027. And then they're due to be released. And so basically what it does is that everybody who has been incriminated is probably passed on by then. That's why they do it. So what do you think?
I think this is another case of, do we separate the man from the action?
Right.
We talked about, like, do we separate R. Kelly from his music? Do we separate Bill Cosby from, his legacy, or MJ from his body of work? It's kind of the same thing. This is kind of on a different level, because I think that we held MLK to a higher esteem than these other people.
Right.
And he's a man of the church, if that's something that you follow. He's a married man, but then he also led an entire people through the through the civil rights movement. So this is something that's kind of difficult. Well, I'm not surprised about the extramarital affairs. I don't know if it was. I never thought it was just one or two.
Right.
I always, when I learned that he did have these affairs, I just assumed there were a lot of them. Just because he's a man of power, he's relatively handsome. I just assumed that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right. I know what you mean. In the MLK kind of way.
Right. In a preacher body kind of way.
Right.
Sorry. So I just assumed that there were a lot of women that were at his disposal. So that part I'm not shocked about at all. Right. The part where he watched a rape, that is a shocker. That would really shocks me. Yeah. So that's where I don't really know what to say about that. If it is true, it's definitely disappointing. If it is true. I don't know. I need a little bit more time to process this whole thing, but
yeah, I mean, like you said, and it's the same. It's almost to the same thing. It's like, with so many other great men that we know and that we know of, they're profoundly flawed. That's what's coming out here. And a lot of people say, well, it's motivated by racism, and why, especially with Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby and et cetera, and all these others. But I think when you bring it to the color of the skin color, and you make it an issue on racism, that to me completely overlooks and dismisses the women that were exploited, exactly. And you're doing it for the sake of protecting this legacy, which these people are not gods, they're men. They're men, and we're all flawed, and we all make mistakes, and some worse than others. But I just, my heart is like, don't overlook the women, because these women in this story, we don't know their names. We don't know, fully what their stories are. It's been buried under, FBI files and hush hush. So, now these things are now coming out, and my heart just goes out to the women, who have had to endure. You get this, this figure that's larger than life. And, this is a man that we studied in school, for the most part. This is, we have a national holiday, and we have all of these things that we can look to him as how he contributed, but never forget that he was a man.
Right.
And that, like I said, there are women who were exploited. That's my thing. And I don't want to forget about them for the sake of trying to protect a legacy of this man. So this is, it's heavy. So we have until, I think we got another 8 years for all the documents to be released. And we'll be able, to understand and see exactly what was said and what was done. But the pastor thing, being in the room, that's a shocker to me.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely a shocker to me. Like him having all these multiple affairs. That I don't, that doesn't shock me at all. That's totally believable. But this whole, witnessing a rape. And actually, kind of the orgy thing is a little disturbing too.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, is this what?
Because
this how we freedom reign? I'm just okay.
right.
Wow. But and it puts me in the mind of Bill Cosby, because it's like, you know him as this figure that was created for the public, but he
Mhm.
was a rapist,
Yeah.
and I just, oh, wow. And just the women who were victims. Let's not forget them.
Yeah.
That's where I am. So yeah, it's mind blowing. Wow. And for someone, I
Absolutely.
mean, on the one hand, he's gone, um, not here to defend himself. We are left with memories and stories and a legacy that will ultimately be flawed, by all of this, tarnished by all of this.
Hmm.
But if it, I want the truth to prevail. That's where I'm at. I'm tired of the cover-ups and covering up, and tell the full story and allow us to make a decision. And the same argument, the same thing that you're saying, do you separate the man from his work and the man from his art? I still grapple with that. I still do. But I do think that it is possible, because you can't just throw the whole MLK away.
Yeah, you absolutely can't. His legacy is too great. It's too great for too many people, for this whole country.
Right.
To throw it away.
For this,
So
but
yeah,
oof.
but then I also think about, as you were talking, I was thinking about John F. Kennedy and his legacy. He still has a strong legacy, but he had a lot of affairs, and he had an affair with
Mhm.
Marilyn Monroe, and he and his brother passed her back and forth, and
Yep.
that's those stories haven't tarnished his reputation.
Yep.
You know, he's still looked
Absolutely.
at as one of the greatest presidents the country's had.
This is true. So do you separate them out? I mean, I have a hard time doing it, but I have to. Because you cannot, like I said, I'm not gonna throw the whole MLK away.
Mhm.
I have to separate it out, but I don't want to forget the women. I don't want to forget the women.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a hard one. All right, moving
All right,
on.
moving on. So, all right. So our next topic, this one is kind of just, it's kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. So the Crips filed an application to register Nipsey Hussle's The Marathon Continues" slogan.
Yeah.
And we all know that the Nipsey, he represented the Crips, the Rolling 60s. You know, he was a part of that gang. And he loved them as a brotherhood. But after he passed, they're looking to incorporate that and to trademark it. But Nipsey's had the Marathon Continue. That was his trademark for years, for years.
Right.
So, and I'm surprised that he didn't start that process to get a trademark. So
Right.
with him being such an astute businessman, and it seems as if he was like really, on his business and on his game, I'm surprised that he didn't trademark it. Um,
Right.
I don't think I agree that they should do it. I don't. I think him, with that whole marketing the Marathon Continues, that was separate from the Crips.
Right.
So I don't I
Absolutely.
don't I don't know how I feel, if I don't have a good feeling about that. And I'm not saying they're not going to do right by it, but I just don't feel as if they have the right to do it. Morally have the right to do it. I think that's something that his family should take care of. That's something.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. And I was very surprised that the Crips, they formulated an LLC as well as the Bloods. So they actually, are registered entities in the state of California. So,
Mhm.
supposedly on their paperwork, they want to develop educational manuals and community organizing and gang prevention and all these things. But I think to use that slogan, which was associated with Nipsey, I really want to know what the family's opinion is on it, or what their say is and what their interest is, because this is just Crips and Bloods coming in and rebranding and taking, something that I believe Nipsey, he built. It was, and the legacy really should be for his children.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what I do? But what I do like about what the Crips and the Bloods are doing now is rebranding their
Right.
rebranding their image, because initially they were a brotherhood. They were created to provide protection in the neighborhoods, and it
Right.
just changed. Everything
Really?
Yeah, it changed direction, changed its course. So I do like that they're rebranding their image and they want to rebuild the community and protect the community. So I do applaud that, but I don't think this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. All right. Well,
all right.
moving on.
You have
Where
anything else?
are we?
No.
No, I am just ready to move forward to this weekend D.
To the weekend D.
So much weekend, so much D. Let me stop.
It's something that has been close to my heart. It's happened to me. And I have reacted differently in every time. Not that it's happened a lot of times, but each time it has happened, I've reacted differently. So, so let me just get to it. So I'm dating this guy, and I spent the night. The next morning, we're leaving out, and I'm looking around the bed in the bathroom, and there's long hairs, ombre hairs, everywhere that don't belong to me or my weave. I have curly black hair. What should I do? He said it could be anything, and knew where I was going with it, but he was like, this could have come from anywhere. You know, I don't know how it got here.
I don't know.
What should I do?
Really? Really?
Oh, Lord.
Really, nigga, really?
Right.
I
don't know how these panties got here. These your panties. So,
no,
right. So,
ain't.
This has happened to me, and I've reacted different on the two different occasions. The first time, I flipped the script. I shook the motherfucking table. A bitch was in there shaking tables and shit. But so so the thing with this is that we really have to clarify, what do you mean by dating? Are you guys exclusively dating, or are you dating each other and dating other people? Is what you're doing as on a need to know basis? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I really, to really answer this question, I need to know specifically what your dating status is with him, because if you're dating, if you're not exclusive, then you really can't say shit. But you can be upset that he didn't clean up. Now that's where I would be upset. That's the whole point is, nigga, you knew I was coming over here. Clean this shit up. Clean this shit up. I think to me that's a level of respect. For I would never, if I'm dating multiple guys and they're coming over here, I will never have another dude's stuff in here for you to see. I just think that's the level. But people operate differently. Now, if you guys are exclusively dating and you see these hairs, then that's a whole other story. That's some flip the table shit.
That's flip the tables right there.
That's flip shaking tables and shit. And yeah.
I mean, and I agree with you. Like, I think first is, what's the dating status? Because if y'all are not exclusive, I mean, look, it's happened to me plenty of times. You know, I'm like, man, I can put a whole wig together on this hair over here. That's not fun. And then, you know, like you said, like, then why don't you clean up? Because I swear, if I open this garbage and I see a used condom in here and I know that that's not what we did, I'm losing my mind.
The thing is about situations like that is I don't go looking for shit. I'm very surface when I'm at your. I'm not opening.
Okay.
I'm very surface. I'm not going. I'm not opening no cabinets. I'm not looking into your medicine cabinet. I'm not looking into your what's under the sink. I'm not looking because I don't want to see shit. But if that shit is out laying and you didn't move it, that's a fucking problem. That's a problem.
I'm not really that much of a snooper, because I just, my grandmother's words come back, and it's like, seek and you shall find. And you know what? I don't want to see nothing that's gonna have my stomach in knots and my heart beating fast. So let me just calm down. So I don't want to be looking. But I understand that hair thing, you know, especially, you know, us sisters, and we got all kind of magic that we're doing to our hair. Mm-hmm. And I know if I'm in there with my black hair, I better not see nobody I better not see no hair, no nothing else going on. But you know, it happens. It does happen. So yeah. And I think that's the first thing. Y'all got to define your relationship, because, you know, you just dating a guy. But, you know, I have talked to many women, many of my friends who, even if you're dating someone and it's not necessarily exclusive, this would be problematic. I mean, and not the cleanup part, but just the fact that you've got this man obviously has other women in his home. I don't know, like they get territorial. I know some. Okay.
I mean, so I think I have been there too. But I think as I have matured in my dating, I can to me, it's all about honesty. You know what I mean? So if you're honest with me and you're saying you're seeing other people, and if you let me know that you're having sex with other people, that way I can protect myself. And you should always protect yourself. But
right,
if as long as there's honesty there, then I don't have an issue. A major issue. I have a slight issue with it, but it's not a major issue because we're all honest. We're all adults, and you have to proceed as such.
Right.
So, but if it's a situation where I'm thinking I'm the only one and I'm not, that's where the problem comes in.
Exactly.
I take things at face value. If this is what we say it is, then this is what it is. I don't expect anything more. I don't expect anything less. This is what we say it is. And I think that's all about managing expectations. So that part, I guess some women do become territorial. And I think as time progresses and your feelings become more involved in it, then you do become more possessive over the other person. But you have to realize that is a whole other person. You don't own anyone.
Exactly.
So,
and I think the best advice for women, kind of off topic, but the same thing, is please listen to what he told you in the first place. And if there's a point in time where he says, my prior statement no longer applies because this is something new, until that conversation is had, I don't care how good the dick game is. I don't care how not all the nice things he say, calling you boo, he's calling you love. What he told you in the beginning, please just go along with that. You save yourself the heartache, because I think that's where we kind of we get the game fucked up, because we listening to how good he feels and how good he makes us feel, and that's not what he told you. He told you, I don't want this and I don't want that, and he kind of laid it out, and then he's off the hook because he told you. So don't go off of, but yesterday he called me bae, and and
he held my hand,
and he called me 5 times.
Right, he got me some water after we did it and all that stuff, girl.
He brought me a wet towel.
He wiped me down. Girl, he is wiping other bitches down too. He got a whole routine that he does, so he don't.
You know what I'm saying? He got a whole harem going on. Okay,
girl. Oh, girl.
Give me this.
I'm about to get in my feelings.
Don't come back, please. We got 10 more minutes left. Hold on, please.
But I understand about feeling a certain way, because especially if you really like someone and you really want to take it to that next level, you don't want to think about them with nobody else, So I try not to even think about it, even though I think about it all the time.
Keep it all the way real.
Think about it, and I think about it at the same time.
Continuously and never.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah, I know. This is just okay. Did we give her some good advice?
I think so. Yeah. So really, let's kind of recap so we can give some advice. So I think you really have to. It really depends on the nature of your relationship. If you guys are exclusive, then that is a serious issue. Then you have to talk to him and get to the bottom of what's going on with these hairs, and don't have him talk in circles around you and try to, lead you down a rabbit hole and change the subject and all the little tricks dudes try to do. Off topic, stay the course and find out whose hair this is and if you're willing to stay. Now, even if you got to go on his Instagram, if you got to go on his
and compare the hairs,
girl. No, I'm playing, But no. If you guys are in a committed relationship, that's something you really have to discuss what's going on. Now, if you guys are not exclusive, it's still a conversation to be had, because I think it's just being respectful of the person that's coming in. Just tidy up, clean your shit up. I don't want to see the residue of another woman here. You know what I mean?
Real.
So,
man, all kind of lip gloss and lip paints
girl, okay.
Like,
I'm about to flip my own table over here.
all that glitter body wash and shit I don't use.
The sugar scrub. Who has got this sugar scrub? This ain't mine.
Be like, you be in there with your hurt feelings, like I'm
girl. Anyway,
I know.
You go on the refrigerator and it's soy milk, and this nigga do not drink soy milk.
Man, I didn't.
Anyway,
I could tell stories, but I'm not.
Man,
Let's move on.
I done told a lot of them right here. Right here.
We like, if I see that damn glitter body wash one more time,
shit, I
don't use that shit.
I'm in my feelings now.
Okay.
Moving the motherfucker along.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. We are now at the Reminisce. I reminisce. Yeah. So this week it is my Reminisce. Let me take y'all back to 1999. Can you believe that?
Man, that was a good time. It was a good time.
Child. That was when the Quiet Storm remix came out. It was the second single off of Mobb Deep's fourth album, Murda Muzik. And it featured Queen Bee, Lil Kim. So the song featured a bass line. It was from the classic hip-hop song, White Lines. White Lines Go Away by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and also had a sample from Smokey Robinson's The Quiet Storm. That's how it started off. So let me just paint y'all a picture, y'all, because that's what I like to do. 1999, it was Thanksgiving. So my family used to get together for Thanksgiving, and that Thanksgiving, my mother actually bought me this CD because I was so in love with Mobb Deep, and it dropped like the week before Thanksgiving. So y'all remember the song? It starts with a thunderstorm, and really like Prodigy did his thing on this beat. So if you remember, it says, I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. I'm the quiet storm nigga who fight rhyme. P, yeah, you heard of him, but I ain't concerned with them. They got pop more guns than you holding them. When I tell you, when that song came on and that first verse came on, I mean, it like sent me somewhere. Like, Prodigy, rest in peace. I think he was just a genius before his time. He was a street poet. There's no one that could do it like him. And I always felt like he didn't really get the props that he was due. Even after he passed away, it's like you gotta go back and listen. And when you listen to some of the Mobb Deep songs, and it's like, they were like 18, 19 years old, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. But the topics were so heavy because they were really talking about what they lived through and what they saw. That street life, that black boys that's not really being seen, but out here fighting for survival. And it just touched me in a place. So you know how I feel about Mobb Deep. I know how you feel about Mobb Deep. I could go on and on about them. Even Havoc, the beats, like what can I say? It was the raw uncut.
Yeah,
have a nigga OD because it's never enough.
It's certainly a classic. It's certainly a classic. And I forever love Lil Kim, and I love that she just paid in her bar. She just paid homage to MC Light. Hot damn ho, here we go again. Light as a rock, bitch. Hot bitch. Shit, knock the block, the hard tops in the parking lots. Where my nigga rock like the parking lot. Man, shit. And the video is so dark and like gritty, and like Lil Kim got the hat like all the way down. Man, this shit rock knocks. I remember when the video came out, I was in school and we had cable, and so I called my sister. I was like, tell me the video. Tell me exactly what goes on in the video. What Lil Kim had on? What was she doing? I was impressed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just like classic. We might have to do another Reminisce like down the line with them. Because it's real. remix shit.
Coming in this game on some modeling
shit.
Just like cock to the top.
100%. Every line I drop.
The MOBB, Queensbridge, Brooklyn, and with DWEP. What? Man, this shit was so fucking hard. Man,
I miss music like this. Like I don't know anybody. They're not making music like this anymore.
Well, I mean, they are, but it's for us.
It ain't for
yeah. I mean,
it ain't for us.
Right. The thing is like this music is the time we were coming of age, so it resonates with us. We already old. We are, you know what I'm saying? So the music that's coming out now is for the young kids, and this is their coming of age music. So this is gonna be their classic shit. The new stuff that's out now is their classic stuff. But this is our classic stuff here.
I guess so. All right, I gotta own it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mobb Deep, Quiet Storm remix, the hotness.
Yep.
All right. Moving on.
All right. Okay. Moving along to support Black businesses. And once again,
we believe in growing our economy and strengthening our communities, and we believe in supporting businesses and services that are made FUBU for us by us. Bam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this week we are highlighting Soco. It's a Southern style eatery with Caribbean influences in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn. So a couple weeks ago when Shaun was up here, we hung out with some girlfriends and we had brunch here. And when I tell you this food was banging, was bomb, licking the plates, man, this food is amazing. The owners of this place, Peter Best, Melissa Brown, Sim Walker, they opened this place up in Clinton Hill, and it's amazing. If you live in Brooklyn or you live in New York or you traveling here or you visiting here, you have to come to this restaurant. You have to come. Call, make your reservations because they are booked all the time. The address is 509 Myrtle Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11205. When I was there, I think I had chicken and waffles.
You sure did. You had buttermilk fried chicken and red velvet waffles. Okay,
I did. It was amazing.
And I had sweet potato pancakes, girl.
They were good. They were excellent. Then we also had macaroni and cheese. The table had macaroni and cheese. That shit was bomb. Oh my god.
Then somebody else had the shrimp and grits.
They had the shrimp and grits. Oh my gosh. The food is amazing.
My mouth is watering right now. Like for real. I got a little chills.
Food was so good.
You know food is good when people is like dancing in their chair.
Because somebody had the itis after.
We all did.
Somebody had the special itis.
Why? Because I went to sleep in the furniture store?
Because you wanted to sleep in the furniture store with your mouth open. And she made me delete the picture. She said, send me the picture and then delete it. This picture was self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Wait, you said you was all the way across this.
Man, I looked up. So this day we went to brunch and then we were going to go to a day party in another part of Brooklyn. So, we took an Uber, and this part of Brooklyn it's kind of industrial, but there's a lot of there's a lot of like furniture stores out there, design houses that are out there, like outlets. And so I took advantage of being out there. I like to design, or I like to look at furniture. So Shaun was like, I'm gonna sit down over here and mind my business. So I'm like going around looking at carpets and shit. I look up, I'm all the way on the other side of the store. I look up, Shaun is knocked out, but her mouth
is $5,000 couch.
Her mouth is wide open.
It wasn't best sleep ever.
I mean, it wasn't even a cute sleep. Her mouth. It's one of those sleeps where you wake up and you don't know where you at.
Oh, it was the best sleep though. The best sleep. I had those sweet potato pancakes with that cream compote, and I had a little bit of the macaroni and cheese and the shrimp and grits. And with mimosas, I was done.
Yeah.
What?
He was done. Then we went to the kitty party.
How they gonna trick us like that? I couldn't
don't
believe
know.
that.
I want my money back.
What? The money that you didn't pay because it was
Right.
free? But okay.
I'm still mad about that Uber ride. I'm going breezy.
What?
Over there.
Oh, girl.
Anyway,
It's okay. We had a
but it was
great
a good day.
time.
We
That
had
was
a
so
good
much
time.
fun.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Hanging out in Harlem and yes.
Mhm.
Oh, can I tell my story though really quick? Just my law of attraction story with the
Oh,
bracelet.
sure.
Okay, really quick. I know you guys we're almost concluded, but I have to say this. So, I was in a store on I was like, "Oh, I want to get myself a diamond bracelet for my birthday." So, went to the store. I was in the city, and the guy pulls out, it was like a little diamond bracelet, but he was like, "What did he say?" It was like $980. I was like, "Man, I'm not buying this bracelet." I was like, "Somebody needs to buy me something. Somebody needs to buy this bracelet for me." The minute I said it, a nice tall gentleman came from the back and started talking to me, and he was like, "You an Instagram model?" I was like, "No, I ain't no Instagram. I ain't no Instagram model, but thanks." No, no. I was like, "I'm not an Instagram model." So he's like, "I wanted to buy you something." He's like, "But I don't want to be too forward." I was like, "You want to buy me something? Buy me the bracelet." Y'all, do you know he bought me the bracelet? Like, no question, just
That was
wrap it up and buy it for me. So I got the bracelet. I manifested my diamond bracelet. Went out of there happy. Did give him my number. Did talk to him. But how beautiful is that?
that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the law of attraction, y'all.
Yeah.
Attraction. So,
I'm
okay, I had to
attracting Diddy over here. Diddy.
sugar Diddy.
Sugar Diddy. Sugar Dick Diddy.
Yep. Ooh, girl.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way, did it? I didn't mean it that way.
Yes, you did.
I don't care what you do with your dick. Honestly. Can you just handle my lifestyle?
Handle my life.
Can you upgrade my lifestyle?
Oh, it's like we could all be sister wives over here.
Anyway, all right.
Okay, all right. All right, y'all. We've come to the end. So you can listen and subscribe to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast. We're at iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher, Castbox, TuneIn, Spotify, and you can catch our live on YouTube. You can follow and hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Visit our website, That's What I'm Saying podcast.com. And of course, now, who do we always shout out?
We always give a super shout out to our producer, Vegas World Inc. You can catch him on Instagram. You can catch him on Twitter. He has a hip hop show called Hip Hop Now. Thank you guys so much for listening, subscribing, and liking us on social media. Until next week, take care.
Take care.
Drop it on the random.